This is Magical Moments, hosted by your favorite holistic wellness practitioner, Carla Reeves. Started with gratitude, ended with love. Magical moments are waiting for us. You can be next if you heal up your trauma. Carla gonna tell you what you need to follow. Locking, we getting you ready. Setting intentions and taking the heavy thoughts that been holding you down. This is the show that you'll be glad you found. Come get your magical moment.
Hello, and welcome back to Magical Moments. I know it has been quite some time. I have done some magical musings in lieu of these longer podcasts, but I'm back. I'm back. And please, when I first did my podcast, I was in a different room. Now I'm not there, and you can see the sun and the blinds. And I really debated on whether or not I wanted this to be video or just audio, but all of my magical musings are audio. So I'm like, I'm going to do video, and you just have to excuse the blinds and the sun coming in and whatever. I'm shining. All right. I'm shining. It's fine. I have with me today Coach Shauney. And I'm going to let her
Hello.
introduce herself. She is an amazing person, a beautiful light, and I am so glad to have her on the podcast. Shauney, how are you?
I am awesome and amazing, getting better and better every day. How about you?
I am well. So tell the beautiful people all about you, what you do. Let them know.
All right. Well, I'm Coach Shawnee. I am a mindset transformation coach. I basically help others um, transform themselves into the highest version of themselves using basically a lot of spiritual work, healing, mental work. Um, I am a guide. I guide you in your spirit into evolving into the highest version of yourself, whatever that may be for you. Um, I have been doing this for several years, I should say. And I'm excited to be able to share this gift with more and more people every day, which is why I'm so grateful to be able to be a part of the Magical Moments podcast. So thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. We're so glad to have you here. It is very apropos because recently, if anyone's been following me, I've been doing a lot of mindset transformation, mindset shift challenges on TikTok. Moon cycle challenges where you do a goal, and in order to achieve your goal, you kind of have to shift your mindset. And I really hammer that home during the challenge on how to shift your mindset. We do different activities and things like that. So, Shauney, what activity or kind of procedure or process works best for you? What do you find works best for you?
For me personally, it was a lot of isolation, a lot of like what most people call shadow work. Really just addressing the things that you know in your heart that aren't supposed to be there, the fears, the obstacles, the mental obstacles, the expectations of others, especially. And that's a big one for a lot of people is they expect so much because other people expect so much out of them. And it's kind of basically putting a handicap on that person because now I'm validating myself through you instead of validating myself. So there are plenty of steps, plenty of steps. It is a case by case basis. But for me, it was a lot of isolation. I had to confront a lot of things that I've had go on in my life, and accountability is one of the biggest things that transform me because you got to take accountability for the things you have done, but also realize that you have so much more potential to change. It's a choice. But yeah, I I've learned through my mentor and also through other people how to behave more like myself. They kind of show me things that I choose not to be around or that I do want to be around. You have to choose it, and we're really just kind of constricted or confined in this box that every society wants us to be in. And unfortunately for us, it's stifling our success here and really spiritually. It's keeping us in this little cycle, and that's where they want to keep us. So that's just kind of me. I've done a lot of shadow work for my clients, however, it does vary. My clients do a lot of journaling. They have to write it out. especially the older ones, they have to write it out. It's hard to realize things in your phone or really just kind of get a full grasp of it. So there, like I said, there's a lot of steps. It just really depends on your own personal journey, I guess.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even with my clients, it's very much case by case, what works best. Some people can't write. Some people may be dealing with dyslexia or something like that, and they
Mm-hmm.
just prefer not to write.
Mm-hmm.
So it's finding the method that works for them. But I am absolutely an advocate for journaling and writing too. I try. I won't lie. My journal
Okay.
should be a lot more filled than it is, but I do enjoy writing when I have the time.
Right. Or even the clarity. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
The focus. It's the focus.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I do love what you said about and you didn't phrase it this way, but kind of being your authentic self and kind of
Yes.
finding voice instead of being put in this box that people try to put you in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I really preach that authenticity is just like
Right.
the main thing. Be your authentic self. Can you share
Absolutely.
in your life when you felt like you weren't being your authentic self and when you realized that your mindset needed to shift?
Oh my girl. All right. So I would say a third or a little over a third of my life has been not my authentic self, mainly because of the way I was raised, the people I was around, the expectations they had of me. And I was a submissive person. So like I was a people pleaser. Um, Now growing up and into my young adulthood, I didn't understand the different in me. I knew I was different, but I didn't understand the different. And people saw the different in me too, it's especially my father, um, but didn't understand it. So the breaking point came, oh goodness, child. I was going through a divorce. Um, it was hard for me because even right before I even got married, I was going through a lot of transformation, figuring out my life and what I wanted. I had just turned 30 at that point, so like I was figuring it out still. But I was broken so mentally, they put me in a mental hospital. I was there for a little over a week. Um, it helped, but it didn't. I caught a few things about it. It was nice. It put me in a position where I had to slow down and really think about what was going on inside me, and it had exercises and group sessions. But after that, I found my person, the spiritually, the person that's supposed to be as my partner throughout this part of my life. And I knew it spiritually because I felt it. But we had some challenges along the way in the beginning, and it put me in a position where am I going to repeat this cycle, or am I going to work towards it and really become the person that I'm supposed to be? Because I made so many excuses growing up. So that breaking point was at that point. I chose to break it off with my relationship, and I chose to spend it was at least 8 months in the house. I didn't go anywhere, girl. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home. I may have watched movies. I journaled. I addressed a lot of things that I had to address mentally, and I had help. Obviously, the internet really helped me a lot. It was more of a self-discovery type of journey. I didn't have a therapist that I wanted to talk to about my issues. I felt like I needed to work this out on my own. So that I guess was the hardest part because I had to do it alone. And the whole purpose of me going now and sharing my gift to others is to be there for those who can't do it alone. Because
Right.
that was hard. It was hard.
Yes, I totally understand because I tell people I always try to be the person for others that I wish I would have during my journey. So, growing
Right.
up and all the things that I've been through, I always try to be that person that I wish I had that I could rely on.
Right.
So I'm learning all these things and healing all these things just so I could share it with people so that they don't have to be alone. So I totally
And that is your purpose. That
see.
is the purpose.
Yes,
There's people like us that's supposed to help the others through because we went through it alone. And I
exactly.
love that because it gives us that tool. It's a tool.
Right. Exactly. And it's all about, healing. So with healing, what does that mean to you on a personal level? And how has that
Okay.
definition evolved like over time?
Sure. So I guess younger version of me, the unhealed version of me, thought healing was more of a it meant like maybe fixing myself, like something was broken or something was wrong. Like I was a project basically that I had to fix, you know? Um, I had to learn that that's not what really healing is. Healing is loving yourself through the mess continuously, no matter what. No matter what life throws at you, people throw at you, even your own self, your own mind will destroy you if you let it. But healing through all of that and coming out on the other side, like I made it through here. I didn't allow these things to bother me, hinder me, slow me down.
Ooh, preach.
Um, Girl, I'm telling you, like it is a story. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being really real and choosing peace and really letting myself grow, basically at my own pace. You know, it's not a race. You don't have to be there before anybody else. This is all up to you and your timing. Healing takes different times for different people. You
Mhm.
can't just rush it. I'm still healing over things that I didn't even know I needed healing. You know, every day I'm discovering
Yep.
something like, oh man, that really triggered me today. I need to figure out why I'm triggered that way and heal that process. Like I said, I was a mental health patient. They put me on medications. And when I mean like 17 medications a day type of medications, I was really messed up. Um, at one point, I even tried to take my life a few times. Girl, it was a mess. But after a while taking those medicines, I decided I didn't want to be a zombie anymore because all they did was numb the symptoms. They didn't really heal me and make me feel better. They just made me feel numb. So I literally stopped my medications cold turkey, and that's when I started deciding to heal and confront all these things. It was a journey, girl. That thing was a
It
challenge.
is. It's definitely a journey, and everyone's journey looks different. But in a way, we still all take the same journey. We go through these healing
Yeah.
phases where we have lessons that we need to learn. And a lot of the lessons are forced upon us by other people, yes, but they're also
Right.
lessons that we tell ourselves, ways that we look
Mm-hmm.
at ourselves and people that we kind of think we are before
Right.
really discovering who we actually are. And, it's going back to that
Right.
authentic self. Who are we really?
Right.
So, there
Right.
are just
Really.
some beliefs and things like that where it's like we're holding ourselves back. And there's these,
Absolutely.
limiting beliefs. And that's part of that
Oh,
mindset
girl,
shift
yeah.
is like releasing these limiting beliefs. So,
Mhm.
what are some
Absolutely.
common limiting beliefs that you see people carry?
Girl, the one that really irritates and gets under my skin sometimes is I am not enough. Who told you you wasn't enough? That one is the biggest one I have when it comes to limiting beliefs. And there's a couple other one like people like me don't win. Who does that? And I was that person and it's scary to even think about back then, but like honestly, that limiting belief is the most crippling one. You have to feel good enough, and deep down inside, every single one of us does have that little person that says, you know what, I am. But your limiting beliefs is overshadowing and it's just eating it up, and it's scary. You got to call out that lie basically and flip it. You know what I mean? Say, hey, this is not true about me. I don't know what you thought.
Right.
Imagine somebody you don't like saying that about you. Like, you
Right.
what? I'm not. But you know for a fact you are. You're bullying yourself the same way. Those
Right.
limiting beliefs are bullying yourself the same way. And my favorite phrase is I've survived every storm. I am strong as hell. You know,
Yes.
I've survived all these obstacles, and you look back and you think about like all the little things that you've overcome, even when you didn't think you was going to overcome them,
Mm-hmm.
and you made it and you survived. You're right here for a reason. Those limiting to
Exactly.
girl, those I am not enough. People like me don't win. That's wild. Those are my two like top pet peeves when people just you got
Yes.
this. Stop saying that.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
totally agree. And mine is I can't. Why can't you?
Oh girl.
And it's
Oh.
just two little words. but I can't. But why can't you?
Oh, yeah. But what if you can?
Exactly. Have you
What
tried?
if you did? You know?
Like, just try. Do it. It'll
But it
probably turn
really
out a
does.
lot better than you think.
It does. And it takes a lot of self-awareness to realize to catch yourself in that moment. Be like, you know what? No, wait a minute. What am I thinking? Oh, girl, them limiting beliefs, boy. That's whew.
Let me tell you. And they get you. Even people, I'll speak for myself. Even me, I have to catch myself sometimes and be like, girl, what
Yeah.
hello?
What are we doing? Oh, no, we're not thinking like
We're
that.
not
We're not
doing
doing
that.
that.
No.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Absolutely
No.
not.
Mm-mm. Your love for self has to be stronger than everyone else's doubt.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's so good. Yes. Really, though. Because if you can't love yourself, nobody else is gonna love you like you supposed to.
Exactly.
Ooh, child, heavy.
Exactly. But
Yep.
there's a difference, I think, between loving yourself and being egotistical. And a lot of
Yes.
people, they don't know that difference. They put the ego above
Yep.
self-love. And you kind of have
Yep.
to check yourself sometimes and be like, am I sitting in my ego? Or
Am
am
I
I
being a narcissist? Am I being a little narcissistic?
you got to
Yes,
check
ma'am.
yourself sometimes on that. But
Right.
there
You gotta
have
be real with yourself, right?
got to be real. Um, so in being real and talking about that and shifting mindsets, let's shift a little bit to
Okay.
positivity because
Okay.
when you shift your mindset, a lot of times it's easier to have like the positive phrase. So instead of saying, "Oh,
Right.
I don't have money right now," right? You know how you say, "Oh, I'm broke." Don't say that. We don't want
Okay. Yeah, you don't say that. We're in
to.
between
Right.
financial blessings.
Right. Or it's just not in my budget right now. I didn't budget for that this week. You know,
I
so
didn't budget for that. I love that one. Yes.
budget for it.
I mean, it's not that Band-Aid. Just be positive. You can't just that's BS. Like, don't
Right.
just say just be positive. I don't do that. It's it's like fake healing to me. It's you can't
Exactly.
just speak it out like that. Basically Real World says it you have to feel it, then you have to heal it.
Hmm.
Then choose how you move forward.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna honor both your shadow and your light. You can't skip steps, ma'am. No, ma'am. All that positive, that girl, that toxic positivity. Whew.
Exactly. So, how do you differentiate between the toxic positivity and just having a healthy, positive mindset?
So, toxic positivity to me really sounds general to me. Healing when you're healthy in a healthy mindset, with that positivity, it's more specific. You know what I mean? You know what you're speaking into it specifically. You're not just saying, "Oh, I'm just being positive today." No, I'm gonna have an amazing shift today. I'm going to meet amazing people today. You're going to be more specific. You're going to speak it out a little better. And honestly, if you're an energy feeler like myself, you'd feel the difference too.
Yes.
You can't just say, "Yeah, it's going to be a great day," but really just don't try to feel it. You have to put some type of energy, feeling into it. So you can feel the difference, but you also hear the difference in the words. It's worded differently. It's more specific.
I absolutely agree. Because if you don't believe it, if you don't believe what you're saying, then the universe isn't going to believe it. Spirit's not going to
Absolutely
believe it.
not. The universe is
So,
going to laugh at you.
uh, you got to believe. And I'm very of the mindset. And, a lot of people, everyone's spirituality and mindsets and beliefs differ. So I'm speaking for,
Hmm.
I'm truly of the mindset that the universe doesn't listen to the actual words that we speak, more so the vibration. The words are for ourselves.
Understood.
So words
Agreed.
have meaning, yes. But what does it mean to us? Right. So let's say,
Right. Right.
I don't know, let's just say money. If you're speaking about money,
Mhm.
but money makes you feel anxious and money makes you feel afraid and money makes you feel lack, that's what the universe is responding to. that
Absolutely.
lack,
That
not the
deep
fact that
feeling.
you
That's what you
said money.
can't fake it. Yep, you can't fake it. That universe knows it just hears you. It
Exactly.
don't feel you need to specify. So I've been told by my mentor you need to specify your goals, specify your manifestations down to the color, the smells, and everything. And I didn't believe it for a while because I didn't really understand it. But girl, now if I
Mhm.
want to go get this new Tesla, let me go to this Tesla dealership and put myself inside one so I know what it feels like, know what it smells like. And if you don't have access to that, just use your imagination. Go on YouTube, pretend to trust, like just write it down.
Yes,
Write it
because it
down,
is the
girl.
feeling. You have to feel it. So when someone, like going back to toxic positivity, when someone is saying, all love and light and goodness, but they don't actually feel that, the universe isn't responding to your love and light. They're responding to
Well,
what you're feeling
your word.
and
Yep.
that energy that
Yep.
you are putting out. And that to me
Right.
is the toxic positivity, because you're producing energy
Absolutely.
that does not align with your words.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that confuses the universe, and they're just going to give you whatever they think you're supposed to get.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
with positivity though, and talking about the energy and shifting comes a little bit of resistance. So, how do you navigate through the resistance with someone like a client? How do you navigate through that resistance? And people like me and you, we can feel it. We can feel when they're resistant to,
Right.
what we're saying or a suggestion that we're making, things like that. We feel the energy shift.
Right.
So, how do you kind of navigate and respond to that?
So I don't really argue or push, that really does not it's counterproductive, and it makes the person not trust you. And if they can't trust you, then they're not gonna be around you. And I don't want that. Honestly, and it's not my job. I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm here to direct you.
Exactly.
What I do is I plant seeds. I plant seeds. You know what I mean? At that moment when we're in that conversation and I feel some resistance, I'm gonna back off, but I'm gonna plant some seeds and I'm gonna speak some truth, and then I'm gonna keep it moving because it's up to you. You're the person in control. You make the decision whether you want this or not. Um, so honestly, resistance for me usually means fear is in control. So basically, I help people see themselves differently. Then I give them the room to rise. I give them the space to do the thing that they need to do.
Exactly. We are so in sync. I am the exact same way. I do not push. I was just having a conversation with a friend either today or yesterday about this same thing. Like, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, or you're combative towards me, or you're just resistant in general to what I'm saying, I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to say okay
Right.
and keep it moving,
And
because
move on.
your perception, I cannot change your perception.
Nope.
I
Only
can
you could do that.
provide you the tools to change it, and I will continue to do that, and I will
Yeah,
continue to move and lead by
absolutely.
example, but I'm not going to fight you on it at all. Mm-mm. You have to
Exactly.
make that
Absolutely
realization.
not. That's not our job. That's taken away from our energy that we could be using for something more positive, more
Exactly.
productive.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, so
I
are
love
there, wrapping up a little bit, because we're all busy and you gave some great, great information, but are there any like books or tools or resources you think would benefit anyone on their
it.
healing journey?
Ooh. All right. I got a couple. I'm gonna try to make it quick. Okay. The one book that opened my mind up to opportunity energy wise and really just blew my entire world to smithereens is called Mind Power into the 21st Century by John Kehoe. That really blew my entire mind. That book opened up an entire world for me. Things made more sense to me in that book than real life itself. The Four Agreements. It's simple but powerful. Atomic Habits is actually really good. It's deeper than just the habits, though. It's about becoming who you say you are. Um, Journaling, obviously, voice notes. Voxer is a good one if you want to do like more voice message conversations. Sometimes text and writing down, like you said, doesn't really cut it. So you want to speak, and that's a great way for those who are dyslexic or those who can't write. You can do it.
Yep.
Please get you a coach that gets it and is not scared to go deep with you. That is imperative. If you really want to put the work in, you really can't do it by yourself. Not like us, because that was something that we're trying to save you from. So, last but not least, Chat GPT.
Yes.
That thing right there has
Listen, we
become
go
one of my
together
best
real
friends.
bad.
That's what I'm saying. And I understand like people are using it in the wrong ways, but if you use it in the correct ways with intention, this will
Yes.
tell you so much more about yourself and your habits and the things that you like. It'll point out to you just in general conversation.
Yes.
There are prompts that I've seen on X, as well as Threads, some Facebook that you can like copy and paste. Like I've had it read my palm, girl. I put my
Mhm.
little palm in there and it read my palm.
It does all the
My human,
things.
it broke down my human design so I can understand what it means. And a girl, it made so much sense. Chat GPT gonna be your best friend. I promise you. Matter of fact, the books that I have said, Chat GPT can put a summarize on it just in case you don't want to read it yet, or if you want to just preview it.
Yep.
Chat
Give you
GPT
cliff
will do that
notes.
too.
Yep. I love
Yes,
that.
yes,
I
I
love
love
that.
it.
Um,
My
we're
chatty.
gonna have a list of the books, in the description. So if you missed them, don't worry. We'll have those
Oh yes,
listed for you there. I
absolutely.
do want to add one, The Body Keeps the Score. I
Okay.
absolutely love that book because it really dives deep into kind of where my focus is, and that's just healing and removing traumatic energy from the body. And you have to realize that even if you go through something and you completely forget, so maybe 1, 2 years old, you can't remember, your body keeps the score. Your body remembers.
Mm-hmm.
You do not remember. And it's really
Oh,
getting to those subconscious triggers and things like that and healing those that you need to get to. And it's difficult, I'm not going to lie, because you don't remember it. How do you heal something you don't remember, but your body remembers? So it's just diving deep and trying to, heal those things. So I'll add
nice.
that to the list as well. The body keeps the score. But before we go, I always ask all of my guests, what does a magical moment look like for you?
Oh, girl, when I get a client or even just anyone I'm encountering, but like I never really thought that I had that much strength. That breaking moment when they're like, I didn't know I was that strong. Or I didn't look at it like that. And just you could see their face light up and you could see the weight lifting off of them. You can feel their spirit releasing it. It's the best feeling in the world. It's the most magical moment for me because that means I'm doing my purpose that I'm here for. I'm doing my job here that God put me here for, that the universe put me here for, you know? So that's a magical moment for me when they get that aha, oh my gosh, I can do this. Or when they make it, you just see them, I did this.
I love that.
Magical moment.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people where they can find you. Of course, I'll have it in the
Oh,
description, but let them know your socials and all the good stuff.
all right, so you're definitely can catch me on Facebook. It's gonna be under Shaunie Lane or Coach Shauney. I'll have the links somewhere in one of the description. I also have an Instagram that's Coach Shaunie Lane. Again, I'll put the link in the description. I do have a Snapchat, which really is more personal for me, but you can actively see me do things in real life, in real time. And it really helps with my clients have a good connection with me because I want to earn their trust. And realize that I'm a real person. I'm not a robot. I'm not like a corporate, I'm not that. I'm a real person. And so it helps them relate. I will also post that in the description for my Snapchat as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was so great to have you here and just sharing. Oh, geez, just sharing all the good things about yourself, your journey, your
Sure.
healing. I am just so honored to have you as a guest, and I look forward to
You've
seeing
been an
more
absolute
things.
pleasure, babe.
Sorry, say that again.
I, I said it's been an absolute pleasure, babe. Of course. You have been amazing as well. I love your energy.
You same. Your energy is just it's on point, and we align so well. So I'm sure that we'll do more things in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would absolutely love to. I cannot wait.
Awesome. So that is it for this episode. As always, start with gratitude and with love and find your magical moment. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and comment and share. Share this video with anyone you feel that needs it. Also, follow me on the socials. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I am everywhere. And my website is yourmagicalmoments.us.